So you're looking at improving your athletic ability or even just your physical ability in general, your strength, your flexibility, your agility, and you're trying to figure out what is the best option. Should I go to the gym? Should I do yoga, swimming, Pilates? What's the best option? Those are good strategies. Now I'm going to give you some tips on what you want to engage in. You want to try to engage in multifunctional activities. For example, today I'm here in the Gobi Desert in Mongolia, and I'm actually riding a camel with my buddy here, who's rapping and keeping me company here. There's nothing around here. It's pretty quiet. And I want to talk about the importance of multifunctional activities in building your overall athletic ability and building your overall fitness. If you engage in unidimensional activities, like only going to the gym, only lifting weights, only riding the treadmill, that's going to be the extent of your benefits. Oftentimes people that lift weights, they're thinking, when I see people, they're like, oh, I'm going to go play tennis, I'm going to go wrestle, play basketball. Then they get hurt or they're not very good at it. And they're like, why not? I go to the gym all the time. That's because those are different activities. Your body is trained specifically for what you do. And every activity requires a different amount of flexibility, balance, agility. And that combination is very specific. So the best way to boost your athletic performance is just to do a variety of activities that are multidimensional. That's going to build your overall athletic ability. I remember when I was going to school at USC, the football players would take ballet classes and other dance classes. And the idea was that it would build up their abilities for their athletic performance. And it was interesting because you think of a wide receiver, a lot of times they're dancing on the sideline trying to avoid going out of bounds. That's just like ballet. So if you want to improve your overall ability, engage in a variety of activities. For example, one day a week I lift weights. Weightlifting is good. It helps build bone density, has specific benefits. Another day I do calisthenics, push-ups, pull-ups, burpees, dips, all those types of things, yoga, Pilates. I swim twice a week and I do a variety of swimming and I go hiking. The more you can do, the better your sensory system is also going to be intertwined with your athletic performance. Remember, when you're thinking about athletic performance, it's a multi-sensory approach: hearing, sight, touch, proprioception. So the more you engage activities that are challenging all that stuff, the better off you're going to be. For example, when I was booking this tour, tour guide told me, hey, you want a 3-day camel hike or a 3-day horseback riding trip? And I thought, wow, that would be a nightmare. I love horses and horseback riding and camel riding. I've done it multiple times, but it's not as easy as it looks. If you look at this movement here, it's actually very challenging. Most people, after an hour or two, they get a lot of backache. So 3 days for someone that doesn't know how to do it, it's going to be difficult. Now, I know how to do it, but my muscles are not specifically trained for it. So it would be an activity that would be challenging. I'd start having back pain. My hips will start hurting. I've been doing this for about 20 minutes. I can already feel it. I'm getting some pain now. So the way to overcome things like that when you're engaging in athletic performance or athletic activities is to always engage in a variety, especially as you mature. Your sensory system is declining. You want to make sure that you're making up for it by building up your strength, your balance, your agility, and of course your sensory system. I have to work on my proprioception here and my vestibular system to be able to manage my balance and my body in space. I can stay on top of this endangered species. It's actually a double hump camel. If you keep that in mind when you're looking for new activities for building up your strength and balance, that's going to help you be more successful as you transition to new activities. Like, let's say you decide I want to pick up playing tennis or golf, or just swimming, but you already engage in a variety of other activities, it's going to be much easier for you to transition. Now, if all you do is one activity all the time, like let's say weightlifting, and I keep mentioning weightlifting because a lot of times people tell me, oh, I'm in good shape, I lift weights. It is a good activity, but it's actually not my favorite. It's not the best one. I would recommend swimming much more, just because you're working on a multi-sensory approach and a multi-muscular approach. You're going to work a variety of muscles, your whole body. Every time you take a stroke, when you're doing the freestyle or the breaststroke or the backstroke or something like that, and you're going to maintain your flexibility. Flexibility is very important, especially as you mature. You're going to lose about 3% of your flexibility after age 40 every year. And becoming more rigid is going to cause you more problems with mobility, with falling, with arthritis, back pain, sciatic pain, neck pain, all that kind of stuff. So if you're engaging in a variety of activities rather than a unidimensional approach, focusing on a multi-dimensional approach, you're going to be a lot more physically fit actually than if you just look in the mirror and had some huge muscles. Now, with that in mind, that's why you want to remember that as you mature, actually lifting weights can be worse for you because you already have decreased balance, and then you're already losing flexibility as you mature. And when you do weightlifting, it's going to make you tighter. So your balance is actually going to decrease. And in general, simple activities like walking are already declining because your strength is declining, your flexibility is declining, your balance is declining. So you're compounding the negative the effects by engaging in a unidimensional activity like just weightlifting. Therefore, when you get older, it's even more important that you engage in multifunctional activities. If you're young, you already walk fine. You don't have any issues. Balance is good. Assuming all that is normal with you and you're fine, then weightlifting only is going to make you more vulnerable because now you're going to get stiffer, you're going to be less agile, you're going to be more prone to injuries. But it's not going to be as evident because you're younger. And a lot of your flexibility is still there. But as you mature and your flexibility is declining, it's even more important that you engage in multifunctional activities. So from the Gobi Desert in Mongolia, this is Dr. Ernesto. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, share, and like our video. So here's another group of camels, literally in the middle of nowhere, headed to the Gobi Desert. And we run into this group here. Unfortunately, it looks like somebody took ownership of these. They put like graffiti on. See, they put like these big letters on the side. But then the list still lists you. BD. Those things. And they're tall. You look like that. These guys all start with their hands to walk 8 feet high. These damn record be spicy they made. 1 to 2,000 pounds, somewhere in that range. Closer to 2,000 pound range. Call they walk in their necks. There's a line. Set a deer, but off in the distance. They're small, but there's several dozen over there. You can see. I found a group of camels here. It's like 5 in the morning. And I was walking in the desert for a couple hours. Nobody around, there's a sunrise. And I ran into a group of camels and we're trying to make a YouTube video with them. Every bird gets to worm. That's the Gobi Desert behind us. This is a mama camel. Big one. There's some big ones over there. And here are the sand dunes, look at that. Big ones, look at that. This is the Gobi Desert here. Man, look at those humps on her. And this is all the sand dunes. This is the Gobi Desert. Oh, these guys are really majestic. There's a lot of them off in the distance, just dust so. And a lot of them are just hanging out here, walking to the sand dunes. How's that stuff, guys? Daddy. Hey, what's up, dude? They're like so mellow. Hi. Double humped Bactrian camel. Endangered species from Mongolia. Look at his neck. His neck. Look at that. The humps. See you tomorrow. Bye, buddy. They're just all hanging out here.
Ah, te, el béisbol kuruyor.